What do you love about being a director?
It's a good question. I mean, this might sound cheesy, but and I've said this before. Like it kind of like you. How should I start this? It kind of goes back to just the experience of me being 13 and seeing something so completely awe-inspiring as Jurassic Park. And again, like that, if that film hadn't been made, my life would have been completely different. Like if I hadn't seen that movie, like that Saturday afternoon, like put me on a very specific path in life. If that hadn't happened, I would have not moved halfway across the world. I wouldn't have gone to USC. I wouldn't have met hundreds of interesting people here in LA. I wouldn't be speaking English 24/7, but I would be speaking German, and I would have never made this movie. As a matter of fact, none of these people that I met on this movie would have ever met each other. It's just insane how like this snowballs just because someone made a movie. And I'm not saying I'm gonna make Jurassic Park because that's absurd, because it's so good. But the idea, and maybe that's just me being sentimental, the idea that something like a movie, that it's like that someday, somewhere in this world, some kid might see the thing you've made and respond to it in a certain way for whatever reason, and then decide to like pursue a certain path in life. That's pretty wild. I mean, you're like, to affect someone's life like that with something like a movie. It's not brain surgery, but like I just like, and again, maybe this will never happen, and it's just me being sentimental. But I like that this could happen. Yeah, and I think, like I said before, just because my life is very structured and organized on normal days, there's a routine to direct and to be on set. It yanks you out of that routine, and you kind of just get thrown in the deep end of the pool, and it's exciting. It's thrilling. Also because so many things could go wrong. Again, it just kind of feels like you're parachuting out of a plane. It's like a little adventure. And even on this film, there was like on any production, there was moments where there was a lot of tension and people bumped heads. But I would always tell them, it's like, you guys, we could be sitting in an office right now, do 9 to 5 and then go home. We're in Vernon, crawling around in this creepy neighborhood, telling a story. Like, how amazing is that? And oftentimes, like, that's what people, it will click with people, and they're like, yeah, you're right. Like, it's like, and every day is so different, like there's no day that's just like the other one, because you're at a new location, there's new actors, you're doing a new scene. It's just an amazing job, It's not, I don't even look at it as a job. It's just, yeah, it's just, you just feel very alive doing that. It's like, you feel like, my God, now you're living life, because it's so the opposite of routine.
And is it to the sense of possibility that everything could totally fail, and there's that challenge of trying to keep it from not failing? It's almost like a game.
Yeah, and I mean, I think maybe when I say you feel alive, maybe that's just the anxiety of like, oh my God, everything could go wrong, But yeah, it's like you just feel very awake, I mean, you obviously don't want it to go wrong, sure. But yeah, I don't know. I look at it as like a little adventure.
So then, on the flip side, what do you dislike about being a director?
I mean, I guess it's we've addressed it before a little bit. I guess it's the waiting game. It's the stuff between the directing where it's just like, you're getting your stuff out there. You're hoping it's gonna click with someone. And it's a lot of waiting, like, again, because people take, weeks to get back to you. So it's, once the ball gets rolling, it's the most awesome thing. It's just the in-between, because especially as freelancers, which is what this is, you're always, and I know a lot of actors and editors, they all feel the same way. You think you're never going to work again every time you're not working. You know, you're like, this is the last time. I'm never going to get another job. So it's like the downtime is no fun, you know. But that's, you try to fill that time with like creating new stuff, getting things ready. So like when you like meet that next person that wants to make something, you have things to show, you know.
I've heard some people say they like that not knowing, that in between, because you know, if someone has had a 9-to-5 job, it's like an endless just calendar full of, you know, exactly what's going to happen, and pointless meetings and meetings about meetings.
When you have a 9-to-5 job, you mean the downtime then?
No, when you don't have that. If you've ever, some people enjoy that not knowing. There's something very thrilling about, even though it's scary, there is something, you're saying like a high, even for the...
It's similar, I guess, then. Yeah.
Because you don't, there's like a sense of possibility, there's a sense of unknown, and I don't know.
But also, that's true. But at the same time, when you're actually making it and you're on set, like there's forward movement. When there's downtime, even when you're making stuff, there's not necessarily any of that. You know what I mean? Because you might be down for 2 months, and at the end of those 2 months, you're at the same place you were 2 months before. Once you get on a set and you're actually making a movie, 2 months later, you have something got made. You know, so it just feels like, there's some forward momentum, like things are happening, things are being made. Yeah, I like being productive, you know.
At the end of the 23-day shoot, when you wrapped, when you were driving home from the whole 10 minutes from the set or wherever you were, how did that feel?
Oh, it's funny because I talk about this. Yeah, it's really weird. Just because like, I mean, it was actually an emotional drive home because it was the first time in like 2 months that things slowed down for me to be like, oh my God, did this just happen? You know how like life is like a series of like milestones, and it's not that many, you know, like for me, moving to LA was one of them, you know, for other people getting married, having children, you know, there's a handful of these milestones. And like, for me, since I was 15 or 13, like this had been my goal. And oftentimes, you know, I was obsessing over it. And like, I'd say I probably sacrificed, you know, a lot just to really focus on this. And then for it to, you know, what was that? Like pretty much 20 years later, for that to actually happen, it was like this weird feeling of calm. Because like all of a sudden, like everything kind of, well, it was 20 years of like, you know, you have your eye on the price, and like every day you're working on that goal of getting a film made. And then all of a sudden that film has been made and you're like, oh my God, now what? Like it was like, on an emotional level, it felt like life could now go into a million different ways. Like, now that I've done this, do I actually want to make another movie? You know what I mean? Like, what am I going to do next? Well, before that, it was all like, make a movie. You got to make that movie, you know? And now you've made one, and it just felt like, yeah, it was almost liberating in a really weird way, you know? But then you realize, oh my God, I actually have to finish this movie. And then also you want to, you know, if you've obviously learned a lot of things, and you're like, oh my God, I'd love to like apply all the lessons I learned on this movie on making another movie and do better next time, you know? And then boom, you're back on that, you know, that straight arrow, you know, trying to make something else. But yeah, it was like just, you're like at the, you know, what do you call it, like the eye of the storm for a little while. It's like everything just came to a standstill. And that was me and the car driving home from Griffith Park in LA, because that's the last night we shot was in Griffith Park. And it was just driving home from Griffith Park to downtown, where I kind of realized like, oh my God, like the thing I set out to do when I was 13 just happened. Yeah, because when you're making a movie, you're not thinking of nothing like that. You know, you're just trying to keep up.
That's pretty cool. Were you by yourself?
Yeah, yeah.
Was it late at night or was it?
No, it was actually the sun was coming up.
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
It was perfect because I was like
wow.
driving through Griffith Park with the sun coming up behind the hills.
That's nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool.